Now that we are done with the API for creating plan, let's focus on the front end. And this is the React part of the application. So let's go ahead and then render the component for creating a plan. And I have already provided the template for you, which is inside the template, and I have named it as plans. So let me copy that and then place it inside the component. So let's begin with the first one, and that is the creating of the plan. And there is no logic on this file. We are going to implement the logic by ourselves. So next step is that we need to render this particular component, and this component needs to be protected unless you are logged in before you can create a plan. And as we move on, we will secure this component or the route for only admins who can create a plan. At the moment, any login user can create a plan. So let's get into it. So definitely we will need the API service for making the request using React query. So I'm going to duplicate one of these and then change this one to plans, and then the file name is going to be plans API or just plans, and let's go ahead and then create the plan. For this one, let's change this one to add or create plan API, and the endpoint here is not categories but instead is going to be plans. And let's check the API for the creation. It is /create. Alright, so this is correct. And that is it. Let me change this one to plan data. And that is it. This one is for fetching all plans. And then change this one to fetch plan. And the endpoint is /plans, and then the next one is going to be fetch plan for a single, and here as fetch plan, and we will need the ID of the plan. Therefore, let's put this one in the backtick as that, and then / the ID as the ID. Awesome. And let me change this one to plans. Okay, so I will say plan here for single. Awesome. So let's go ahead and then mount this component. Let's get into the app.js, and we're going to create it inside the user dashboard. So let me copy this and paste, change this one to create plan, and here as create plan. The auto import is fine, and here as create plan. Now let's get into the dashboard, and we have the link as create plan, and the path is add over here. So let's change it inside the user dashboard, which is user dashboard. The link for creating the plan is called create plan here. So now let's get back to dashboard and create, and this is the form for creating the plan, the type, the features, limitations, and then the price. So let's go ahead and then handle the form, and for this we have done it many times. We are going to use the one for user login in, because we will need the same logic for handle the formic. So I'm gonna copy, let me remove this log, and then copy the formic, likewise the mutation and then the navigation, and then bring it here. The difference here is we will need the use navigate, or even for this There'll be no redirecting. If you want to do it, you can do that. Or let me leave it as it is, and then let's require the dependencies. Likewise, this one. And then change this one to create plan. Or is it add or create? Let me confirm. For the API services, it is called create plan instead. Create plan API. And the auto import is fine. And let's bring in the formic. And for the initial data, we will need the plan name. And then by default, it is empty. And then features. And then the limitations. And also empty string. Awesome. So in the validation, this one is plan name. Then we will say that plan name is required. Then I forgot to bring the features. This one. And then the features is or are required. And then the limitations is or are required. All right, so let's go ahead and bind with the form. Here is and this one gives us the unchanged value and then the other properties. And for this one, we have already used it before. And here I'm using these predefined names for the free and premium. And this is the displaying of the error. And this is the features field. Let me bring it back. And then this is the limitations field. And remember, these are comma separated. I will show you what I mean. Then down here, let's uncomment this. And then the pricing field. And the displaying of the error. And we have the create plan. Let's check something is not right. Yup is not defined. So let's bring in the Yup package. Let's get back to the login in. We have it here. And let me bring this one up here. Likewise, the formic. All right, so let's try. Now we have it. So let's go ahead and then log the values before we go ahead and then make the request. So for the meantime, let me comment out this. Supposed to be the mutation instead. This one. Yeah. Remember that for the features and then the limitations, they accept array of values. So on the front end, how are we going to pass in the arrays? We are going to type the features in comma separated. So inside the formic here, we are going to combine those values into array and then send to the server. So here, if I type, I will say unlimited and then comma, we will say 24/7 support, and then we will say that fast response. That is for example. And then for the limitation, I will say only 10 posts at a time or 10 posts, and then comma, I will say no support and others. Let me choose premium here and the price here. Let me say $80 and then let me create. Well, for some reasons I have to bind with the form, which is this. I have it here, supposed to be handle. Well, for some reasons I saw some reloading. Let me try again. But I think there is something wrong. Let's check the button. Supposed to be this one instead. Yeah, yeah, I'm not binding the handle submit. Now we have it, so let's go ahead and then try again. Premium, let me say unlimited, and then 24/7 support, and I will say that fast response, and then limitation 10 posts, comma here, no support, and others, and the price is $80, and let's create. Now let's check in the console, and we have the values. As you can see, they are comma separated. So we are going to combine these ones into an array and send to the server. So in here, for the onSubmit here, first of all, I'm going to mark this one as async, because I'm going to use what is called muted async, which is this. For the meantime, I think I made some mistake. Instead of this one, I just commented out this one. Yeah, so let me close this. Yeah, and then let me comment out this. So here we are going to prepare the data for creation or for sending to the API. So I will say that const plan data is equal to object, and we will need the plan name, and lucky for us, we can get it from the values dot plan name. But for the features, remember, they are comma separated, so we are going to split by comma and then map through them and trim and then assign to the features. So here we will say that values dot features. Remember, this is comma separated, so we can convert to array by using split, and then we want to split by comma, and then this one becomes an array, therefore we can use map to transform that is dot map, and then we have access to the individual feature, and then we can trim it by using feature dot trim as that. Likewise, the limitation, so duplicate and then change this one to limitations and change this one to limitations, and comma here, and here I will say limitation, and that is it. So if I log the plan data here as that, let's see in the console. Let me try again, and this time around we have the features be an array, likewise the limitations and the plan name. So we are all set to send to the API. So let me bring back this one. So the mutation here is called the, let me rename this one to plan mutation. I have renamed this one, and down here, so in here we're gonna pass in the plan data here, and that is it. So let me remove this, and also for the redirect, for the meantime, let me comment out, and let's log the post the plan mutation to know something about the request. And I believe you're gonna see an error because we have exceeded creating 2 plans. So now let me refresh, and let me just enter something. I know that it will not work, and then pricing something like this, and let's see the error, which is on the error, and then we have the response data, and then we have the message as plan already exists. But if I change something else, I think we can create 2 plans at the moment. So let's go ahead and then trash our database for the plans. Let me connect, and then main block plans. Let me drop by typing the plans. So let me create for free one, and I will say no features. or let me say 24/7, or let me say 10 posts. Comma here, no support, and limitation, let me say slow response, and then comma, no support. For the free one, the price here is $0, and then create. I still see an error. Let's see. Price path is required. Well, I forgot to pass in the price, which is this. So here, price is also equal to values.price. I think I forgot to add the price here. Sorry guys. So here as empty string, and then the validation for the price, you will say that price is required. And where do I have the error here? Syntax error. Supposed to be values.price. This one. Alright, so let's try again. Create, and now we got success. As you can see, plan created successfully. Now let me create one for premium. For premium, I will say unlimited post and 24/7 support. Then for limitations, I will say that no limitations for the premium ones. I start and remove this, and let's add the price as $80 and then create. And we got success, which is this, which is success. Alright, so now let's go ahead and then display error and then success. This is where we're going to show the error or success. So let's get back to the login in, and we have the component for showing that. So over here, paste that and change this one to supposed to be the plan mutation, and we will say that plan created successfully. And that is it. Let's bring in the error component, the elect component. So let's see, and we have plan created successfully. If I try to create again, plan already exists. Alright, so now I want to redirect to the dashboard. So here, let's bring back the redirect and just use / and then it's supposed to be dashboard. Awesome. So now the creation of the plan is complete. What has left is to show it on a page. When a user click on pricing, you want to show all the pricing.